Home of the Brave by Katherine Applegate. God with a Wet Nose. We park by the side of the fast car road. Walking through the snow is hard work, like wading across a river wild with rain. The cow is near a fine, wide-armed, good-for-climbing tree. To say the truth of it, she is not the most beautiful of cows. Her belly sags, and her coat is scarred, and her face tells me she remembers sweeter days. My father would not have stood for such a weary old woman in his herd, and yet to see her here, in this strange land, makes my eyes glad. In my old home back in Africa, cattle mean life. They are our reason to rise with the sun, to move with the rains, to rest with the stars. They are the way we know our place in the world. The cow looks past me. I can see that she's pouting, with only snow and dead grass to keep her company. I shake my head. A cow can be trouble, with her slow, stubborn body, her belly ripe with milk, her pleading eyes that shine at you like river rocks in sun. An old woman comes out of the barn. She's carrying a bucket. Two chickens trot behind her, scolding and fussing. The woman waves. "Just saying hello to the cow," Dave calls. "Let me know if she answers," the woman calls back, and she returns to the barn. "We should go," Dave says. "Your aunt is expecting us." "A little longer," I say. "Please?" "I know cattle are important to your people," Dave says. Again he tries to use my words. "A man I helped settle here taught me a saying from Africa. I'll bet you would like it. A cow is God with a wet nose." I laugh. We wait. The wind sneaks through my coat. My teeth shiver. I take off a glove and hold out my hand, and at last the cow comes to me. She moos, a harsh and mournful sound. It isn't the fault of the cow. She doesn't know another way to talk. She can't learn the way I'm learning, word by slow, slow word. I stroke her cold, wet coat, and for a moment I hold all I've lost and all I want right there in my hand. Welcome to Minnesota. It's growing dark when I say goodbye to the cow, and we go back to the car to drive again. At last, we park before a brown building taller than trees. Its window eyes weep yellow light. Under a street lamp, children throw white balls at the not dead trees. Snowballs, Dave explains. A smiling girl throws one of the balls at Dave's car. He shakes his head. "Welcome to Minnesota," he says. We climb out of the car. The snowball girl's face is red, and her long brown hair is wet. "Hi," she says. "I'm Hannah. You the new kid?" I'm not sure of the answer, so I make my shoulders go up and down. "Catch," she says, and she throws a cold white ball to me. It falls apart in my hands. I follow Dave across the noisy snow. 2 times I slip and fall. 2 times I rise, pants wet, knees burning. "Take it slow, buddy," Dave says. Tears trace my cheeks like tiny knives. I look away so Dave will not see my shame. How can I trust a place where even the ground plays tricks? Inside, we climb up many stairs. We walk down a long hall, passing door after door. Dave knocks on one of them, and behind it I hear the muffled voices of my past. Much time has come and gone, but still I know the warm gray voice of my mother's sister, Nyadol. I hear another voice too, the sound of a young man, a strong man. The door opens, and my old life is waiting on the other side. Family. I'm hugged and kissed, and there is much welcoming from my aunt. She's rounder than I remember, with a moon face to match, her black eyes set deep. My cousin, Ganwar, shakes my hand. I have learned about shaking hands. At the camp they taught us how. Be firm, but do not squeeze too hard. Still, when Ganwar grasps my hand, we are like two calves in the clouds, pretending we know how to fly. The man's voice belongs to Ganwar, and he has my father's height now, though Ganwar is thin and reedy where my father was sturdy with strength. His eyes are wary and smart, always taking the measure of a person. 6 long scars line his forehead, the marks of manhood I watched Ganwar and my brother receive in our village ceremony. How jealous I had been that day, too young for such an honor. I try hard not to look at another scar, the place where Ganwar's left hand should be, round and bare and waiting, like an ugly question no one can answer. The night Ganwar lost his hand was the night I lost my father and brother, the night of men in the sky with guns, the night the earth opened up like a black pit and swallowed my old wife whole. My aunt holds my face in her hands, and I see that she's crying. I know her to be a woman of many sorrows, carved down to a sharp stone by her luckless life. She isn't like my mother, whose laughter is like bubbling water from a deep spring. I look into her eyes, and then my tears come hard and fast. Not for her, not for my cousin, not even for myself, but because when I look there, I can see my mother's eyes looking back at me. Lessons. I'll let you get settled, Dave says, but first I'll give you some lessons. Your aunt and your cousin know these things, but you'll need to know them too. Number 1, he says, always lock your door. Ganwar, show Keck what a key looks like. In my old home, my real home, my father kept us safe. We had no need for locks. Number 2, he says, this is a light switch. He pushes a tiny stick on the wall, and the room turns to night, then blinks awake. In my old home, my real home, the sun gave us light, and the stars watched us sleep. This thermostat, Dave says, helps keep you warm. He pretends to shiver, to paint a picture for his words. In my old home, my real home, we were a family, and our laughter kept us warm. We didn't need a magic switch on a wall. I nod to say yes, I understand. But I wonder if I will ever understand, even if Dave stands here pointing and talking forever.